So, we now have the Mechanism EP, or Embrace EP now to review, of course. I've reviewed these guys before, and I enjoyed that first record. First EP, it was awesome. And it's still just Justin and Cujo. Hot off the heels of their previous record, Mechanism's Embrace comes in a rather shorter EP in terms of length of time. It's literally 13 to 14 minutes. So it is set to be released on January 29th. The EP boasts similar musical parts to the previous batch of songs. The good, because, this is going to be a much shorter review. And I'm going to make something clear here, too, when I get towards the end. For it being recorded at Justin's place, with all the strings done by him, the guitarist, the bass, and the drums were basically set up through a machine, I believe. Cujo's vocals were also recorded there as well. On the first record, Cujo went and recorded all his vocals through a smartphone, which gave it that raw feel. This time it was all done on an actual microphone setup, like a correct condenser mic. So there's now the thing about this is there's a section on the third track where because for the most part you get the typical Cujo vocal, the typical chuggy sort of technical riffing from Justin. But when you get into the third track, he has this sort of a vocal tone that's like a lighter version of Jamie Jasta from Hatebreed. And then on the final track, he hits this really nice lower, clean vocal, which basically adds to his range as a whole. It gives Cujo that extra bit of flair in his vocal style, which is really, really good. When you are able to do that, it makes life fucking easier, especially in the studio. Now, not a whole lot of people like his vocal. I can tell you that right now. But I find his vocal approach exciting, and it's still a breath of fresh air when you're able to add all these different things, especially to Mechanism and to the simple fact that he's in Elevate the Virus. With Justin's guitar parts and bass parts, it's very much that similar sort of deathcore, metalcore, sort of almost tech death with a bit of thrash in there. What you know what you're going to get from Justin Gogan. There's just no fucking. He doesn't deviate. Essentially, is what I'm saying from his typical thing. The bad. You guys know that I focus on production a lot. Okay, this is not a bad thing. This is something to improve upon. Having a home, bedroom, basement type of setup for recording is good. You're not having to go and spend all this money at some high-end studio where you're gonna just literally spend thousands, and you could be in there for fucking hours upon hours and days upon days, and you're like, I'm just burning through money left and right. That's why you have a lot of guys who are recording stuff at their home. A lot of things can be done very well, and while everything is recorded well, the hardest part is to make sure that the volume is leveled. If this is something that's done on purpose, that's fine. But there is a big difference in the volume levels. Some of them are here, some of them are here. 1 minute it sounds excellent. The next it sounds like there's a lot of reverb, and it sounds very echoey, very low volume in the mixes. So while the boys have gotten far better at songwriting and recording, to me, the mix is left to be desired. There's nothing much I can say more about that. I mean, I do tend to focus on the production, because when you're in a metal band, production, especially in this day and age, is fucking key. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go and step out of what your comfort is and write something just more like, thrash metal riffs, that's fine. But when you're in a metal band and you're doing this kind of style of music, your production levels should be up here. But as I say, because it's a home recording, maybe spend a little bit more on the production side of things. And as I say, this is not a slight against the boys, because the songs are fucking great. The songs are legitimately great. But as I say, the volume really needs to come, if this is your top and this is your bottom, match both of them. Make sure both of them are fucking dead on, because if they're not dead on, it's going to be really hard for me to go, am I missing something? Because if there's something I'm missing, unfortunately that can take away from the overall, final score. Speaking of which, when it comes to actual music, it's great. Vocals, great. Fucking fantastic. Everything makes much more sense on this record. But the mix is a problem for me. I'm going to give this 3 out of 5. And like I say, it has nothing to do with the songwriting. It literally is down to the mixing. And that's the biggest problem. If you don't get the mix and the production right, I gotta call it as I sees it. And it's no slight to the guys, because I know exactly what they're going to be capable of. And I heard a little bit of other things that's going on, and I'm really looking forward to that. So, peace out, boys. Great songwriting. Keep it up. And I look more to the future with Mechanism, and as well as Elevate the Virus. See you guys.